It all started at Thanksgiving dinner. Now, you're used to mom repeating herself a few times and always just chalked it up to old age. But this time was different. She started doing the strangest things. And it all started with the mashed potatoes. I'm your host, Valerie Borgman. What should you do when something's wrong with mom?
Welcome to Desperately Seeking Senior Living, a podcast for sons, daughters, grandkids, and spouses who suddenly find themselves tangled in the search for senior living and care. If you like today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and check out our doable download in today's show notes for a printable summary of the show and a bonus tip from our guest.
You're listening to our doable tips, short answers to your questions. Don't see your question listed? Send us a note. Then don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an answer. Hi, everyone. It's Valerie. I just wanted to take a quick moment to remind you that you can donate to our show. Even just $1 will really help us with our expenses. Look for the donate button on our website or in show notes, and thanks for listening. Hi, and welcome to the show. This week, we're going to take a look at some real life examples, stories that families have shared with us, and things we've experienced. Things that made everyone go, whoa, hang on a minute, this is different. Something's really wrong. In this episode, we're focusing on things that should give you pause and what your next steps should be. But before we get to those examples, let's talk about why this is such a wake-up call. I'm sure you've heard me say that no one wants to think about senior living and care. Well, I mean, literally. I've never met anyone who actually wanted to face the fact that their mom or dad or grandparent was aging to the point of being unable to care for themselves. So we end up explaining away these things that just don't seem right. Oh, that's just grandpa. Or your mom or dad may be really good at covering up their memory loss. We all just laugh it off as old timers. Until that day, the day you're over for Thanksgiving dinner and stop your mom from putting Cool Whip in the mashed potatoes. You say, whoa, she says, what? I've always made them this way. And that's the moment you know you can't ignore this any longer. Now, listen, I recently made chili and I had this can of artichoke hearts, and I thought, well, that could be good. Sure enough, I Googled it, and there are actually several chili recipes with artichoke hearts. But I can tell you that 99% of my friends thought I was crazy. The point is that you can usually tell when something is just a one time thing or when something is really wrong. Like finding a burnt pan on the kitchen counter and realizing that means it was left on the stove for a long time with nothing in it. And that means your mom forgot she was cooking. Now, maybe she got a phone call, she was interrupted, and that's what happened, or maybe not. Or you're having coffee with your mom and you watch as she gets up to go to the refrigerator. You think she's just going to get some milk for her coffee, but you watch as she pours ranch dressing into her coffee. Or you go to use the restroom and you can't without cleaning the toilet first. I'm sure you can guess why on this one. Or you sit down on the couch and are overcome by the smell of, again, I'll let you use your imagination on that one too. You notice that everything upstairs seems to be untouched for a really long time. And then you realize dad's been sleeping in the recliner. Or you open the refrigerator and there's literally nothing there. The freezer has one frozen meal and the pantry has a half a loaf of bread and some peanut butter. And that's it. And the list goes on and on. Now, most of the time, some form of these things have been going on for years. As we age, things get harder for us to do, and as memory loss progresses, it gets harder to hide. But what now? So you've determined something's really wrong, so what should you do about it? Well, here's a good place to start. Make a list of all the things you're noticing along with the date. Now, this list can help you determine if it's a one time thing or if it's getting worse. And next to each item, describe your concern. Then add another column for possible solutions. So, for example, the bathroom is dirty, which means chances are your mom is not able to clean herself properly. That's a problem because she could end up with an infection. And a solution might be making sure she has grab bars available as well as wipes to help her clean and reach. And on a side note, we have got a great episode called Toilet Talk with an expert about everything in the bathroom. You don't want to miss that episode if you haven't heard it yet. So take your list of concerns and now rank the list. What's the most concerning or the most unsafe? This list is important for many reasons. It can help you talk to your siblings about the issues to get their input. And if the thought of that is terrifying, then you might want to check out our episodes on when families disagree and elder mediation. And I'll put a link to those episodes in show notes as well. So, this list can also help you determine how much help might be needed and if it's time to consider in home care or a move to assisted living or memory care. It'll also help you organize your thoughts to have that uncomfortable conversation with your parents. And we're going to focus on how to have that conversation in an upcoming episode. This is also a really good time to start doing some research. There are many great companies that can help walk you through this process so that you're not at the mercy of Google. My company, ClearPath, is one of those, and we can even help you find an agent like us in your area. Now, I want to pause here because there are some things that require immediate attention. If you find a bunch of your mom's medications on the floor and can't tell if she's been taking them, or there are missing medications that you don't find and you're worried she took too many, if you find open wounds, maybe they don't smell or look right, or there's a sudden change in your loved one's behavior, get help immediately. No one finds it easy to acknowledge that their once active, strong, social parent who took care of them is finding it hard to care for themselves. It not only makes us face change, but it also makes us face our own future. But the sooner you're able to see the signs, the sooner you can make a plan that will hopefully make that change more doable.
Today's episode is brought to you by ClearPath Senior Living Solutions. ClearPath helps families find assisted living, memory care, and other resources. Find our contact information in today's show notes. Check out this episode's doable download in show notes for details including industry terms and definitions we discussed, as well as a bonus tip from our guest. Have questions or your own tips to share? Leave us a message. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, make it doable.